Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're jumping back into the combi. We've got the carbs to put on, we've got a little bit of welding to do, and hopefully going to start this thing up. So stay tuned and let's jump into it. So, as we left off last episode, engine's in, everything else is looking pretty good, but we have to fix this carby. Well, we've got to drill a hole in it so that the brake booster vacuum can run off one of those cylinders, and we can start to put it back together after we weld that on. And also, to start, we have no dipstick in this engine, so other than the guy building it. So this is what I bought for it. It is normally like this, and it's got some like clear gluey stuff on there, but I wasn't really liking it. I didn't think it was gonna hold up. They probably do, but I didn't think so. So I pulled it apart, I've cleaned it all up. I'll give this a scuff and that, and then while we weld the manifold bung on, and I also have the bung for the manifold as well, and an elbow. I thought the elbow might work a little bit better, and that should do it. So start, we're going to pull that manifold off, drill a hole and get welding. Hopefully I can get this sorted today, and then if I need any other bits and pieces I can order over the next couple of days before the weekend and get this all sorted. Okay, so a little stuff up after realising I didn't have any filler rod today after work when I got some. So hopefully I can weld this now. So we're going to chuck the new welder on and give it a go. There we go. I think it works. Well, I don't want to hold it too much because it's stupidly hot, but it goes down in there. I think I'm just going to have to clearance it a little bit, just because it's probably moved since I've welded it. But it being so thin and this being a big piece of alloy, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but 65 amps, no pedal, just nice and easy. And then dab when it gets a bit hot. I did touch the tungsten a few times. I haven't TIG welded in quite a while, so I'm pretty happy with the result. That's done. That's done. I'm gonna leave them to cool off, and we're back in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I'm not sure where I left you. I think I just finished welding up the manifold and the dipstick, and also I've done a few little bits and pieces off camera just to get us ready for today. So hopefully we can start it. So I'll show you what I have done. Is over here we have the exhaust all chucked on the combi. I gave it a bit of a clean up because the paint was falling off, and so sanded it all back and got it all nice and painted up. I'm missing a clamp for here, so it's just got silicone in there at the moment. I use silicone because at an exhaust shop that I used to work at for a number of years, this stuff worked really well. The cement stuff I find is really hard to get off, really painful, whereas this stuff you can zing it off really nice and easy and things still come apart. So that's why I use that. Any haters, hit me up. Over here, what I've done with the exhaust is I have welded an extra piece on here to help get the tube from the fan blower into the heaters and push up to the front, and just to make it easier when I put it all together and not have to fiddle around and try and get the hose in there. But also what I've done is welded the little boxes onto the actual heater, onto the actual exhaust. They do come loose from when you buy it. There's a little clamp that holds it down onto the heater box down there. It is a Volkswagen one, but it's just how they come, I guess, just because different engines are a little bit different and different cars are going to be a little bit off. So I ended up around and tacked the outside together a little bit to keep as much of the air pressure in there, as well as around the edges, because I felt like I'm losing a lot of heater pressure, as well as now they don't rattle and move, which is even better. On this piece I had to change because this one just is the wrong one. So this one, well, it lines up at the back and it's all good, but on here, my belly pan piece that goes on the front lines up here, whereas that other piece, it lines up out here, so it's just not going to work. I think it must be off a Beetle or a later engine, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, everything else is all tidied up. I haven't really done much else onto the engine. I've just been mocking stuff up with the carburetors and bits and pieces, which are all up here. So that's the oil filter system, which is what we're going to chuck on first. I'll show you that first actually. So these two brass fittings, they come out of the oil pump, they go across, they'll go through the filter and back and filter the engine. Normally the engine just has a basket filter, which is on the bottom of the engine, and this is just going to give me a lot more filtration, which I'm happy about. Now the carbies, breathe. The carbies are all pretty good. They're not much just changed on the, actually a little bit has. So where this piece bolts onto was too long, and so what I did, I just shortened them that little bit because they were hitting on the fan shroud. So they were hitting on the edge of here, which no good. So fix that up, and then I also changed the hats over. So with the fuel now comes in the back rather than in the front, because I didn't want to have the fuel line come around and in. I'd rather just have it out the back, looks a bit nicer. And then because they have an in and out, I'm just going to run a deadhead system, so it's just going to have an in. I think the in's on the bottom actually. And so what I'll do, I'll just block off the top one and sort that out. Over here, to get these air filters to fit with this carburetor and all this linkage system, I had to raise the air filters up a little bit. So I made a little bit of a cork gasket that sits on there and raises this up, but also I had to, clearance this piece. So after all that bolts onto the carburetor, after it's all on, you'll see a bit later, this piece bolts on, and then these little things hold the air filter on. But this was all rubbing and hitting, so instead of having to try and sand this down to make it fit, put a little bit of a spacer in there and clearance it a little bit, and now we've got a nice air gap and we're all good. And then everything else is just bits and pieces to set it all up. So let's jump into it. I think first up we're going to do oil filter system, get it all out of the way. I've left the plugs out so that way when it's all ready to go, I can prime it up nice and quickly and turn it over. Not that I think it's a problem, but make it a little bit quicker. And run the fuel, turn the fuel pump on, wire it up, and hopefully she starts. So let's get into it. Okay, so crawling down under here we have the oil filter in place, and then I drew on it just because it's way easier than trying to put a mirror up here to try and read on the top there. So in this side, out that side, and so I'll run some lines all the way through there, up under these fellas, and so this is out and that is in, and we should be pretty good. side.
Whoa, kill it, kill it, kill it. It's like I can smell fuel. It's spewing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, out that corner. Something's come off.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's a good start. Yeah.
A lot of boring math later.
Okay, little intermission. Just adjusted the rockers. I think I must have, well, I did. I had one of them loose. So we're going to try again. Kick it in the guts. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the timing right. Go. Yeah, you got to cycle it, don't you? Yeah, go again. Can't get it to idle. That's right, go again.
You're good.
Cool. Okay, there we are, guys. I'm really happy. It's running. It needs a lot of work. I need to do a lot of tuning on it. It's a little bit too, it's actually quite a lot lean. I need to get some bigger jets in there, but the only ones I have are way too big and that would just flood it, and that's not worth doing. One other thing I will say is the cam has already been run in an engine. It's matched to the lifters. Everything on it was put in exactly the same into this engine, which is why I haven't done a running in cycle. But everything else is pretty good. I did have that small fuel leak. which was just the little block off that I put on top of the carbies. One of them was just a little bit loose, so I tightened that up, cleaned it all down, that was all good. But it's running nicely. I will go around and do the rockers again, because the first start I had one I just must have missed, and it was really loud, so I sorted that out. I just need to go over a few things, get everything sorted. Hopefully those new jets turn up soon. I can then play with it a little bit more, get it dialed, and then we can take it for a drive. So hopefully next episode we'll jump in this thing, we'll go for a bit of a drive. I'll take it down to where we did the other 0 to 60 and give it another blast and see how it runs. And yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Hopefully we get some more power out of this thing, and then we can jump onto some other things we're going to get up to. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next time.